Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets, the channel where every coin hides a story, a mystery, and sometimes a fortune. Today we dive into one of the most sought-after quarters in U.S. history, the 1950 Washington quarter. A coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye but is a treasure to collectors. Struck with one of the lowest mintages of the Washington quarter series, this 1950 quarter is legendary for rarity, history, and value. The era and background. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Its design, by John Flanagan, features a dignified profile of George Washington on the obverse and an elegant eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. By 1950, America had emerged from World War II and entered a booming economic period. Coins were circulating in vast numbers, but the Denver Mint produced only 2,630 quarters in 1950, one of the lowest mintages in the series' history. To compare, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 9 million that same year, making the Denver Mint coins extremely scarce. Why it's special? The 1950 quarter is not just rare because of low mintage. Many were lost or circulated heavily, leaving fewer high-grade specimens today. It features all the classic Washington quarter elements. A finely detailed Washington profile, Liberty, In God We Trust, the year 1950, and the small D mint mark on the reverse to indicate Denver. Collectors know that even slightly worn coins carry enormous value, especially in higher grades. Condition and grading. Washington quarters are graded based on wear, luster, and strike quality. Good, G4. Major details worn, value around $30–50. Fine, F12. Moderate wear, value $60–100. Very fine, VF20. Light wear, value $100–200. Extremely fine, XF40. Sharp details. Minimal wear, $200–350. About uncirculated, AU50. Trace wear, $350–600. Mint state, MS60 to MS65 plus, pristine. Uncirculated coins can reach $1,000–2,500 plus, with top-tier MS67 specimens commanding even more. Market value and auction records. The 1950 quarter is highly sought at auctions and private sales. Typical MS65 coins, $1,500 to $2,000. Registry quality MS66 plus, $3,500 plus. Record sales for premium specimens, $50,000 plus. Collectors value it not only for rarity but also for historical significance. A post-war Denver Mint coin that has survived more than 70 years. Collecting tips and identification. Authenticating a 1950 quarter is crucial. Mint mark check. Ensure the D is on the reverse above the olive branch. Strike clarity. Look for clean edges, strong relief, and no doubling. Weight and composition, 625 grams, 90% silver, 10% copper. Certification. Always rely on professional grading, PCGS or NGC. Beware of counterfeit coins or overpolished examples. Even small anomalies can affect value drastically. Historical context and rarity. The 1950 quarter was minted during a time when coin collecting was just gaining momentum. Early collectors quickly realized its rarity, making it one of the first coins to spark serious roll hunting. For low mintage issues, collectors prize the 1950 for mere low mintage relative to Philadelphia counterparts. Scarcity and uncirculated condition. Historic significance in the Washington quarter series. The 1950 Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a piece of American history, a low mintage legend, and a collectible gem for those who know its value. If you ever come across a 1950 quarter in change or at a coin show, examine it closely, it might just be worth thousands. Coin number 2, 1950 Washington quarter, low mintage. The 1950 Washington quarter. At first glance, it may seem like just another coin from the post-war era. But to collectors, it's a gem, a symbol of scarcity, craftsmanship, and immense value. With a low mintage and surviving examples rarely seen in pristine condition, this quarter has fascinated numismatists for decades. In this video, we'll explore everything about this coin, its history, design, rarity, market value, and tips for identifying authentic examples. Historical context. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin quickly became a fixture in American pockets, a daily reminder of the nation's founding father. By 1950, the Washington quarter had been in circulation for 18 years. The nation was thriving after World War II, and the mint produced coins in enormous quantities to meet the growing demand for change. However, the San Francisco mint's production for 1950 was astonishingly low, only 30,000 coins. This makes the 1950s quarter one of the rarest circulating quarters in the series. To give perspective, Philadelphia Mint struck 9,123,000 coins in 1950. Denver Mint struck 2,630,000 coins. San Francisco Mint struck 230,000 coins, barely more than a tenth of Philadelphia's output. This limited production immediately attracted collector attention. Even decades later, high-grade examples are scarce, making the coin a highly prized treasure among numismatists. Design highlights. The 1950s Washington quarter features the classic Flanagan design. Obverse, George Washington's left-facing profile, with intricate detail in hair, eyes, and facial features. Inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1950. Reverse, a majestic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows symbolizing military strength. Olive branches beneath the arrows represent peace. Surrounding inscriptions include United States of America and quarter dollar. Mint mark. The S for San Francisco appears above the olive branch, distinguishing it from Philadelphia or Denver mint coins. Collectors often marvel at the coin's crisp details and higher grades. The sharpness of the eagle's wings, feathers, and the columns of the arrows can dramatically affect value. Coins with full strikes and clean surfaces are extremely rare due to circulation wear, rarity, and collector demand. The low mintage of the 1950s quarter immediately sets it apart. Unlike many other Washington quarters, surviving examples in uncirculated condition are uncommon. The factors that contribute to its rarity include circulation wear. Many of the original coins were used for daily transactions, reducing the number of coins that could achieve high grades. Hoarding-savvy collectors quickly recognized its scarcity in the earlier 1950s and began saving rolls, which has helped preserve a small number of high-grade coins. Collector excitement. Because of its status as a low-mintage quarter, the 1950s remains a highly desirable addition to Washington quarter collections, especially for those building San Francisco mint sets. Over the decades, collectors have competed at auctions for high-grade specimens. Stories of rare 1950s quarters turning up in old coin rolls, sometimes in family estates, still circulate in the numismatic world. Market value. The value of the 1950s Washington quarter varies based on condition. Grade. Approx. Value USD. Fine F12. $30, $50. Very fine VF20. $80, $120. Extremely fine XF40. Planted $250. About uncirculated AU50. $300, $500. Mint state MS60 to MS65. 1,000, 2,500 PLARs. High-end MS66. Coins with exceptional eye appeal can fetch 3,000, 5,000 or more. Prices can vary depending on the auction house provenance and whether the coin has been certified by PCGS or NGC. One remarkable story comes from a private auction in 2018, where a high-grade 1950s Washington quarter in MS65 Plus sold for $4,200, nearly double its expected value, due to its pristine strike and luster. Identification and authentication. Given its value, authentication is critical. Mint mark placement, the S, must appear above the olive branch on the reverse side. Strike details. High-quality coins show crisp details in Washington's hair, eagle feathers, and arrow shafts. Metal composition. Made of 90% silver and 10% copper. Weighing 6.25 grams. Certification. Only coins graded by reputable services such as PCGS, NGC, or NX are trusted. Avoid coins with polished surfaces that reduce collector value. Counterfeit mint marks applied to Philadelphia or Denver coins. Signs of artificial toning. Historical and collecting significance. The 1950s Washington quarter is more than just a coin. It tells the story of post-war America. Struck during a period of rapid economic growth and prosperity, represents a low-mintage anomaly in a widely circulated series. Acts as a key piece for collectors building S-mint Washington quarter sets. Surviving rolls and high-grade examples are now legendary in numismatic circles. Collectors also value the coin for its connection to early 1950s culture. The Washington quarter was in daily use, passed through the hands of soldiers, office workers, and children collecting change, giving the coin both historical and emotional significance. The 1950s Washington quarter remains one of the most coveted coins among U.S. collectors due to its rarity, history, and timeless design. Its low mintage, surviving uncirculated examples, and growing collector demand make it a legendary coin in the Washington quarter series. Coin number 3, 1960D Washington quarter. The 1960D Washington quarter with full steps FS. At first glance, it may appear to be an ordinary circulation quarter, but among collectors, the 1960D FS is legendary, a coin that showcases the full artistry of the Flanagan design in a detail so rare that it can dramatically increase its value. Stick with us as we explore why this quarter is highly prized, its design, rarity, and current market value. Historical context. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, designed by John Flanagan. By 1960, the series had been in circulation for nearly 3 decades, serving as everyday currency but increasingly attracting the attention of collectors. The 1960D quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, and while millions were produced for circulation, only a small fraction exhibit the full steps FS detail and a complete and sharp depiction of the steps of Monticello on the reverse. This detail is subtle yet crucial. It demonstrates a perfect strike and meticulous craftsmanship, which makes high-grade FS examples extremely rare. During this period, the U.S. Mint continued producing quarters for a booming post-war economy. Most coins showed typical wear, so finding an FS 1960D quarter in pristine condition is akin to discovering a hidden treasure in everyday change. Design highlights. Obverse front features the classic left-facing portrait of George Washington. Inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1960. Details in Washington's hair, facial features, and jawline are sharper in higher quality coins. Reverse back depicts Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. Above Monticello, E Pluribus Unum. Below, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The full steps F's designation refers to coins where all horizontal steps of Monticello's staircase are sharply struck and fully visible. The D Mint mark above Monticello identifies the Denver Mint origin. Collectors prize the FS detail because it indicates a perfect strike, usually found only in uncirculated or high-grade coins. Without FS, even a beautiful coin loses a portion of its value. Rarity and collector demand. While millions of 1960D quarters exist, only a fraction display the FS feature. Factors contributing to its rarity include circulation wear. Everyday use wore down the subtle FS detail. Minting inconsistencies. Not every coin received a perfectly aligned strike. Collector awareness. Over time, coin enthusiasts learned to identify FS quarters, making them highly sought after in auctions. Collectors chase the 1960D FS because it combines historical significance, low surviving quantity in high-grade condition, and aesthetic perfection. Numismatists consider it an essential piece for anyone pursuing a full steps Washington quarter collection. Market value. The market value of a 1960D Washington quarter with FS depends on condition and certification. Grade. Approx. Value. USD. Circulated. Fine to VF. 15. 35. Extremely fine. XF 40. $60.20 or about uncirculated AU 50. $200. 400. Mint state MS 60 MS 63. $400. $800. Gram MS 65. Farson 200 2000 plar. Top registry sets 3000 plus. In 2019, a PCGS MS66 FS 1960D quarter sold for $3,400 at auction, illustrating how rare high-grade FS coins can command premium prices. Coins graded and certified by trusted services, like PCGS or NGC, are particularly valuable, as certification ensures authenticity and strike quality. Identification and authentication. Due to its high value, proper identification is essential. Key points to verify FS coins. Mint mark. D for Denver must be correctly placed above Monticello. Full steps detail. All steps of Monticello's staircase must be visible and sharply defined. Strike quality. Examine eagle feathers and architectural details for crispness. Metal composition 90% silver, 10% copper, weight 6.25 grams. Certification. FS coins are best purchased certified by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. Beware of altered or polished coins, counterfeit mint marks, and artificially enhanced FS details, all of which reduce collector value. Historical and collecting significance. The 1960 DFS Washington quarter is more than a coin. It represents post-war U.S. minting excellence, one of the earliest coins in the Full Step series, setting a benchmark for later Washington quarters, a must-have for collectors pursuing San Francisco, Denver, or Philadelphia Full Step sets, a blend of historical significance and aesthetic value. Collectors enjoy sharing stories of unearthing FS quarters in old rolls, family collections, or bank change, demonstrating that even modern coins can become legends. The 1960 D Washington Quarter FS remains a cornerstone for collectors seeking rare, high-quality examples of the Washington Quarter series. Its low surviving quantity and pristine condition, historical significance, and aesthetic appeal make it a coveted coin in the numismatic world. Coin number 4, 1964 Washington Quarter, 90% silver, high grade. The 1964 Washington Quarter struck in 90% silver and highly prized in high-grade condition. At first glance, the 1964 quarter may appear ordinary. After all, millions were minted. But collectors know better. High-grade examples with strong strikes and exceptional luster are in demand. Offering a glimpse into mid-20th century U.S. coinage and a chance for a rare treasure in your hands. Let's explore why this coin continues to captivate collectors worldwide. Historical context. The Washington Quarter series was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, designed by John Flanagan. For over 3 decades, this iconic design adorned the nation's quarters, representing liberty, history, and craftsmanship. By 1964, the United States was in the midst of a post-war economic boom, and the demand for coins was high. The 1964 Washington Quarter would become the last regular issue, Simon Silver Quarter, marking the end of an era in U.S. coinage. After this year, due to rising silver prices, the mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition, making 1964 silver quarters the final piece of a historic lineage. High-grade 1964 quarters are particularly sought after because they combine historical significance with aesthetic perfection, coins that survived, circulation with minimal wear. Collectors prize these coins not only for their silver content but also for their rarity and top condition. Design highlights. Obverse front features the left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1964. Details in Washington's hair, facial features, and jawline are key indicators of strike quality and collector value. Reverse back depicts Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's Virginia home, with sharp architectural details. The inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, above Monticello and United States of America, along with quarter dollar appear below. Coins in high-grade condition reveal crisp steps and intricate features in the columns and dome. The combination of sharp design, historical context, and the final silver composition make the 1964 Washington Quarter an enduring favorite among collectors. Mintage and rarity. The 1964 Washington Quarter was minted in massive quantities. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 233,700,000. Denver Mint, D, 227,400,000. While these numbers seem large, survival in high-grade uncirculated condition is far less common. Coins handled in circulation often exhibit wear that diminishes details, particularly on Monticello's steps and Washington's hair. Collectors seeking top-quality examples often look for gem uncirculated, MS65+, sharp details, full luster, minimal contact marks, registry sets, coins graded and certified for competitive collecting, highly desirable for PCGS or NGC registries. The scarcity of high-grade 1964 quarters drive strong demand and a consistent market for collectors willing to pay a premium. Market value. The market value of the 1964 Washington Quarter depends largely on condition and grading. Grade, approx. Value, USD. Circulated, VF to XF. Forwarder, 8. About uncirculated, AU 50. $10. 15. Mint State MS60, MS63, 20, 50, Gem Uncirculated MS65, 75 on 50, Top Registry MSE66, MSE67, $200, 400 PLA. In addition to collector value, the coin's 90% silver content adds intrinsic bullion value. As of today's silver prices, each quarter contains roughly 0.18 troy ounces of silver, giving it a base value of around 3-4. In addition to its numismatic premium, collectors who acquire high-grade certified examples often enjoy both the historical significance and the potential for long-term appreciation, particularly for registry-quality coins or coins with exceptional eye appeal. How to identify high-grade coins? To distinguish a high-value 1964 Washington quarter, collectors should pay attention to strike quality. Examine Monticello's steps. Fully struck steps indicate a well-struck coin. Luster. Original mint luster is a key sign of an uncirculated coin. Surface condition. Look for minimal contact marks or abrasions. Mint mark, Denver D or Philadelphia. No mark. Some collectors prefer one over the other, but both can achieve high-grade value. Certification. Coins graded by PCGS, NGC, or NX provide authentication and help maximize value. High-grade examples with sharp details and certified quality often command 2-3 times the value of average uncirculated coins, making them a must-have for serious collectors. Historical and numismatic significance. The 1964 Washington quarter holds special significance. Last 90% silver quarter marks the end of an era in U.S. coinage. Iconic design, John Flanagan's portrait of Washington is one of the most recognized designs in U.S. coins. Collector staple, a foundational coin for any Washington quarter collection, especially for those pursuing high-grade sets. Cultural impact represented, the everyday currency of Americans in the 1960s, while becoming a collectible legacy decades later. Collectors often note that these coins tell a story about a thriving nation, evolving minting techniques, and the transition from precious metal coins to clad compositions in everyday circulation. The 1964 Washington quarter 90% silver remains a cornerstone for coin collectors. Its historical significance, silver content, and rarity in high-grade condition make it an enduring favorite. Coin number 5, 1937D Washington quarter. Today we dive into a coin that has fascinated collectors for decades. The 1937D Washington quarter, a key date in the series, often featuring error varieties that make it incredibly sought after. At first glance, it might look like a standard quarter from the 1930s, but for collectors, every detail, mint mark strike, and even tiny errors can drastically affect its value. In this deep dive, we'll explore the history, design, rarity, and current market for the 1937D Washington quarter, and why it continues to captivate coin enthusiasts around the globe. Historical context. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to honor George Washington's bicentennial, designed by John Flanagan. By 1937, the series had become a staple of American coinage, replacing the barber quarter and reflecting both artistry and national pride. The Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark, produced many of the Washington quarters, but the 1937D stands out for collectors because it is considered a key date in the series. A key date coin is one that is more difficult to find in high-grade condition, making it highly valuable. This quarter also reflects the economic and cultural backdrop of the 1930s, a period of recovery from the Great Depression. Coin production was high, but minting errors and limited surviving. High-grade examples contributed to the 1937D. Its enduring fascination. Design features. Obverse, front. Features George Washington facing left, with inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1937. The profile includes fine details in Washington's hair, jawline, and cheek, all of which are critical for grading. Reverse back. Depicts Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. Inscriptions include E pluribus unum, United States of America, and $quarter. The columns and dome on Monticello are closely examined by collectors. Sharp strikes increase the coin's value. Error varieties. The 1937D quarter is known for several error varieties, including double die obverse, repunched mint marks, and weak strikes. Coins with such anomalies can sell for multiple times the value of a standard coin. Mintage and rarity. The Denver Mint struck 11 to 8,000 coins in 1937 while this seems abundant, survival in uncirculated or high-grade condition is limited. Many coins were circulated heavily, losing detail over time, making collector-grade examples rarer than the numbers suggest. Key points for rarity include high-grade coins MS63+, scarce commanding premium prices, error coins, limited surviving examples highly sought after. Registry sets. Collectors aim to acquire every key date for competitive PCGS or NGC sets. Because of these factors, the 1937 Washington Quarter is considered a key date, and certain error varieties are among the most collectible in the entire Washington Quarter series. Market value. The value of the 1937 Washington Quarter varies depending on condition and whether it features an error variety. Grade. Approx. Value USD. Circulated VG to XF. $20, $60. About uncirculated AU 50. 75 on 50. Mint state MS60. 200, 350. Grim MS65. $500, $1,000. Top registry MSE 66, MSE 67. 500, 3,500 plus. Error varieties, doubled dies, repunched mint marks. Weak strikes can command even higher premiums, sometimes $5,000 for rare certified examples. Investors and collectors seek these coins not just for face value or silver content, but for rarity, history, and the thrill of owning a numismatic gem. Identifying a genuine 1937 quarter. To authenticate a high-value 1937 Washington Quarter. Mint mark. The D on the reverse should match known examples for location, depth, and angle. Strike quality. Check Washington's hair, cheek detail, and Monticello's columns for crispness. Surface condition. Look for scratches, wear, or toning. Uncirculated coins will retain luster. Error detection. Doubled dies or repunched mint marks are visible under magnification. Certification. PCGS, NGC, or ANAX graded coins ensure authenticity and maximize market value. Collectors often spend hours examining subtle features to distinguish between a standard 1937 and a high-value variant. Historical significance and collector appeal. The 1937 Washington Quarter carries immense historical and collector significance. Key date. Rarity and high-grade condition makes it a must-have for serious collectors. Error varieties. Coins with doubled dies or repunched mint marks add drama, history, and value. Silver composition. 90% silver content increases intrinsic worth. Series importance. Completing a Washington Quarter collection requires this key date. Owning a 1937 allows collectors to experience a tangible piece of American history and the artistry of Flanagan's design. It's not just a coin. It's a symbol of 20th century U.S. minting excellence. The 1937 Washington Quarter remains a cornerstone for collectors and investors alike. Whether you're hunting for high-grade, uncirculated examples, or rare error varieties, this coin offers a piece of history and the potential for long-term value. That concludes our deep dive into these 5 incredible Washington Quarters, each one a testament to U.S. coinage history and extreme rarity. From the low-mintage 1950 and 1950s quarters to the pristine 1960 full steps, the 90% silver 1964 quarter, and the elusive 1937 key date and error varieties, these coins show how even small pieces of metal can hold millions in value and decades of history. Collectors, enthusiasts, and treasure hunters, the Mao. Stories behind these coins are just as valuable as the coins themselves. Whether you're starting your collection or hunting for a rare gem, each of these quarters is a must-have in the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to subscribe to OldCoin Secrets. Hit the bell icon and like this video. Stay tuned for more deep dives into rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating world of high-value U.S. coinage. Keep collecting, stay sharp, and remember, the next coin you find in circulation might just be your fortune.